Alright guys, so on this one I had a couple questions, guys asking about, well, the Beretta in particular, the M9, guns with slide-mounted safeties. You know, on some of the earlier videos talked about slide manipulation. Personally, I tend to prefer an overhand grasp of the slide, but on guns like the Beretta, the old Smiths, any of the guns with a slide-mounted safety or slide-mounted decocking safety, unless you have sort of a refined technique, unless you sort of know what to pay attention to, it is very easy to knock the safety into the on position. So, you know, you tap, you run the action, and you got a dead trigger because the safety has been turned on by the overhand manipulation of the slide. So how do we deal with that? How do we address that? A couple ways, guys. Okay, this is a Beretta 92F. It's actually an FC, a compact. It's a little 13-shot Beretta. But anyway, same deal. Here's your safety up top. It is a slide-mounted decocking safety. The problem is that if you come in to run the slide in an overhand manner, it's very easy to knock the safety on. What happens is if you come into the cocking serrations on the pistol, which are located forward of the safety, you come in here, it's very easy to knock the safety on when the slide is manipulated. This can happen regardless of how you manipulate the slide. If you come in over the top and do a slingshot grip on the cocking serrations, you may or may not do it, but the problem here is, the problem that comes up is this: the levers will move when you're running the slide. So what you've got to do is you have to anchor levers in position no matter which way you're going to grasp the slide. So if I'm going to do a reload, I've come in here, what I'm doing is I'm locking the lever in position by my fingers on the slide. If you notice here, my finger is locking the lever in place. If I come in here, we don't have that problem. If I come in here and lock the lever in place with my thumb or with this index finger, we don't have that problem. There are different ways to do it, different ways to accomplish it, but the thing is you've got to lock the lever in place whenever you manipulate the slide on these pistols. So, here, and then the other thing I found is that if you aggressively reestablish a thumbs forward grip, even if the safety did get knocked down, if I were up here and I didn't manipulate this properly and knocked the safety on, if I aggressively reestablish a thumbs forward grip, I knock the safety off every time. So when it comes to these sorts of guns, I want to make sure I move that safety positively. I want to develop technique that doesn't inadvertently move the safety, and every time I go through the motion of knocking that safety off, every time I regrip the pistol, to maximize the likelihood the gun's going to work for me.